Good morning to all my loving children of 6th standard. Last class we have started the first chapter of Cyberlink 6 categories of computers and computer languages. Isn't it? We have seen the types of computers: microcomputer, mini computer, mainframe computer and supercomputer. We have also seen about the machine language in the last class, isn't it? This is the 5th session on computer class, where we will be learning about the further topics of this particular chapter. In this session we will be covering about the computer languages, that is the machine language, assembly language, high level language and 4th generation language. All these languages we will be covering in this particular session. Okay children, though we have learnt about this machine language in the last class, we shall have a brief recap on this particular language also. This machine language is also called the 1st generation language. Okay, now let us move on to machine language. The machine language is also called the 1st generation language. It is the only language that a computer understands. Computer ne manasilavuna ore language ullu machine language aanu. It is also called the 1st generation language. It is expressed in binary form, that is 0 and 1. Zeros and ones la binary form la ezhudana language aanu machine language. It has advantages: very high speed aanu, low memory utilization. These are the advantages of machine language we have seen in the last class. Now let us move on to the disadvantages. It is tough to understand. Writing in this machine language is very tough. Understanding is also very tough. Time consuming process. It takes lot of time to write this machine language. It is difficult to write and debug programs written in machine language. Machine language എഴുതാനും difficult ആണ് and debug ചെയ്യാനും very difficult ആണ്. What do you mean by this debug? Rectifying the following errors and finding the errors in a particular program. അതായത് mistakes എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനാണ് debug എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. It's very difficult to write and find out the mistakes written in this particular machine language. Errors എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനാണ് debug. Machine dependent. It is also machine dependent. What do you mean by this machine dependent? I told you in the last class. Machine dependent is, that is, a program written in machine language. In one system it may work in one system, but in another system it may work, it may not work. That is, programs written in machine languages le എഴുതിയ program ചില സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ വർക്ക് ആവും, ചില സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ വർക്ക് ആവൂല. It may work, it may not work. That is why it is called as machine dependent. As such, machine language is also regarded as low level language. LLL, low level language എന്ന് machine languages നെ പറയും. Clear children? Now let's move on to the example of machine language, zeros and ones. This is the example of writing the machine language. It is written in the form of zeros and ones. You can see over here. Okay. This machine language is also regarded as the 1st generation language. This machine language is the 1st generation language ennu parayum. It has the following features. It is unreliable, very costly, consumed a lot of electricity, generated a lot of heat, air conditioner needed, AC വേണം, slow input and output devices very slow ആയിട്ടേ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ, costly ആണ്, ഒരുപാട് electricity consume ചെയ്യും. Because of its huge size it cannot be moved. അത് huge size ആവണ കാരണം അതിനെ move ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂല. Examples of the 1st generation languages are 1st generation computers are ENIAC and UNIVAC. UNIVAC system is being shown here. The technology used in the 1st generation languages is vacuum tubes. The vacuum tubes are ആദ്യത്തെ 1st generation use ചെയ്ത technology. ENIAC ഉം UNIVAC ന്റെ abbreviations എല്ലാം ഈ സ്ലൈഡിൽ ഞാൻ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. I have given the full form of these abbreviations in this particular slide, which you will be seeing further. Okay, this is the example of UNIVAC, the first generation language. The technology is vacuum tubes. Okay, the following are the features of this first generation language. Now let's move on to the assembly language, the second generation language. Assembly language is also called the second generation language. So this assembly languages uses mnemonic codes or symbols in places of 0 and 1. Machine languages 0 and 1 in the salathe. Assembly language use cheyyana mnemonic codes or symbols use cheyyanathana assembly language. Assembly languages mnemonic codes or symbols use cheyyum. Zeros and 1 in the salathe. Example I will be showing you. Example for add. You want to add a particular sum. So for that, in binary language, how do you write? You write in the form of 0, 0, 1 and 0 for add. But in assembly language, how will you write? You will be writing as ADD. Assembly languages ADD എന്ന് എഴുതും. പക്ഷെ binary languages നമുക്ക് add ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ we write it as 0, 0, 1 and 0. Clear? This assembly language ഏത് ഫോമാ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? Symbolic codes, mnemonic codes or symbols. അത് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഈ assembly language എഴുതുന്നത്. Easy to work in assembly language than in binary language. Binary languagesനെക്കാളും assembly languages work ചെയ്യാൻ easy ആണ്. Okay, it is written in mnemonic codes or symbols. So that is the advantage you have seen here. Next is a disadvantage of assembly language. This is also machine dependent, same as in machine language. This assembly language is also machine dependent. That is, programs written in assembly language in one system it may work, it may work, it may not work in other systems. Okay, assembly languages le ezhiya program oru systemathil ezhiya assembly language ne program chela systemathil work cheyum, chela systemathil work cheyyula. That is machine dependent. Programming is time consuming. Programming assembly languages lo cheyan ഒരുപാട് സമയം പിടിക്കും. That is time consuming. Programming is time consuming. Thus assembly language is also regarded as low level language. Assembly languages ne low level languages ne parayum. Like same as in machine language, this assembly language is also considered as low level language. Example of assembly language, it is being shown here. It is written using symbols and sentences. You can see the example over here, example of assembly language. Okay children, this assembly language is also regarded as second generation language. Idine second generation language ennum parayum. Reliable aanu, faster than first generation computers. It is faster, first generation computers nekkalum faster aanu. Smaller in size as compared to first generation computers. First generation computers nekkalum smaller in cheriya size aanu. Generated less heat as compared to first generation computers. Heat consume ചെയ്യുന്നത് കുറച്ച് heat consume ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ as compared to first generation computers. Consume lesser electricity as compared to first generation computers. Electricity consume ചെയ്യുന്നത് first generation നെക്കാളും കുറച്ചേ consume ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ. But still it is very costly. Air conditioner ആവശ്യമാണ്. Examples of second generation are UNIVAC 3, IBM 1401 and IBM 1620. And the technology used in this second generation language is a transistor. You can see the image of transistors. This was the technology used in the second generation language, and following are the features. This is a particular system of second generation computers. Clear children? These are the examples of second generation computers. Now let's move on to the next language, high level language, the third generation. High level language is also called the third generation language. Due to the difficulties in using machine language and assembly language, prompted people to develop a language which has the following features. Assembly languages and machine language has lot of difficulties. We just discussed now, isn't it? The disadvantages of machine language and assembly language, which is tough to understand, time consuming, machine dependent, okay, difficult to write and debug programs. All these are the disadvantages of machine and assembly languages. Because of such difficulties, it prompted people to develop a language which has the following features. People have developed a new language of called high level languages, which is simple, user friendly language, which is very simple language, user friendly language. What do you mean by this user friendly? It meets the user's requirements, that is whatever the user needs to do in a particular system, all that is being satisfied by this high level language, user friendly. User inde pala requirements system work cheyumba pala requirements satisfy cheyan pattunnadana high level language. Language that is machine independent aanu, that is programs written in high level languages will work in any system where it is being loaded or written. ഏത് സിസ്റ്റത്തിലായാലും അത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് ഹൈ ലെവൽ ലാംഗ്വേജ്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് മെഷീൻ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ്. സിമ്പിൾ ആണ്, യൂസർ ഫ്രണ്ട്ലി ആണ്, ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് മെഷീൻ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ്. That is, it will work in any machine wherever it is loaded or being written. ഏത് സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ എഴുതിയാലും ഏത് സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ ലോഡ് ചെയ്താലും ഈ ഹൈ ലെവൽ ലാംഗ്വേജസ് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യും. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് മെഷീൻ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ്. Advantages of high level languages are easy to learn and use this language. Easy to learn, it is very easy to learn, and it is quite similar to English language, almost similar to English language. Many wordings and sentences are being used of English language in this particular language. High level languages le programming cheyumbo ഒരുപാട് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് വേർഡ്സും സെന്റൻസസ് ഒക്കെ ചില വേർഡ്സ് ഒക്കെ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, and that is why it is written as quite similar to English language. Okay children, so these are the following advantages of high level languages. Easy to learn aanu, quite similar to English language, simple ആയതുകൊണ്ട് കാരണം ഒരുപാട് ആൾക്കാർ ഹൈ ലെവൽ ലാംഗ്വേജസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തു. ഓക്കെ, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇതിനെ ഹൈ ലെവൽ ലാംഗ്വേജസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. എക്സാമ്പിൾസ് ഓഫ് ഹൈ ലെവൽ ലാംഗ്വേജസ് ആർ COBOL, Fortran, Basic, C, C++, Java, and Python are examples of high level languages. But recently arrange languages on Python. Many are used Python language. This is also a high level language. C, C++, Java, ellam examples of high level languages are. This is an example shown. Program to add two integers. രണ്ട് integers തമ്മിൽ ആഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രോഗ്രാമിംഗ് ആണിത്. When you reach higher classes, you will be learning about this program, how to write this program using high level languages. When you reach higher classes, and you will be learning about this programming, the syntax, everything you will be learning about in your higher classes. This is a simple program to add two integers which is written in high level language. Okay. These high level languages are also called third generation language. High level languages ne third generation languages ennum parayum. ഇവിടെ ടെക്നോളജി എന്താ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്? ഇൻറ്റിഗ്രേറ്റഡ് സർക്യൂട്ട്സ് എന്നാണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഫസ്റ്റ് ജനറേഷനിൽ ഏത് ടെക്നോളജിയാണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തത്? വാക്യൂം ട്യൂബ്സ്. സെക്കൻഡോ ട്രാൻസിസ്റ്റേഴ്സ്. തേർഡ് ജനറേഷനിൽ Integrated circuits. This is a system of third generation languages. Smaller in size, faster, generated less heat. Heat produce in lesser maintenance, still costly, costly under third generation languages costly. Air conditioner needed, consumed lesser electricity. Electricity consumed lesser. Examples of third generation languages are IBM 360 series, UNIVAC 1108 are examples of high level languages. Third generation languages example aanu. Okay. Examples of the systems, that is edaka systeminte examples of third generation language. Now let's move on to the next language called the fourth generation language. Fourth generation language. It is closer to human language than any other high level languages. Human languages closer on the fourth generation language. The fourth generation language has the following features. Higher user friendly and independent of any operating system. User friendly all the users interactive operate fourth generation languages. User friendly, independent of any operating system. Edu operating system work fourth generation languages. Let it be Windows, Linux, whatever operating system you are using, you can use this fourth generation languages in any of the operating system. Very high speed of execution, designed to reduce the level of programming efforts. Okay, you need not break your heads writing programs for a long time consuming. It's very, you can write very easily, and that program will be executed very high speed also. The programming efforts also, you can write it, the programming part of fourth generation languages also can be written very easily. It will not take much time to write this computer programming using fourth generation language. And the minimum efforts from the user to obtain any information. This is also one of the feature of fourth generation language. Edaka sequence of instructions are vended to accomplish the results, that will be determined by the computer. The user just need to specify only the output, and the computer does all the thing, and it gives you the desired output as required by the user. The user has to specify only the required output, and the computer determines the sequence of instructions that will accomplish those results. Our sequence of instructions ella determine the computer, and it will give the output as desired by the user. Okay. So SQL, that is a programming language, fourth generation language, is the most popular example of fourth generation language that will be learning in the higher classes. SQL, sequential programming, structured query language. Structured query language is the most popular example of fourth generation language. Structured query language. This example of SQL language, structured query language. Just to print the output of hello world, here we write the program like this. Is an example of SQL language. Okay. This fourth generation language, it has the following features. It's very cheap, portable and reliable. That is portable, reliable, very small size. It's very small size. Computers became easily available. Lesser power consumption, power consumed in the lesser area. Internet was introduced in this fourth generation languages. Internet introduced much faster in computation. computation പല calculations analyzations എല്ലാം computation faster ആണ് in this 4th generation. Examples are IBM PC, Apple Macintosh, HP 9000, desktop PC. All these examples are the examples of 4th generation languages. Examples, the systems used in the 4th generation languages. Okay, the technology here it is being used is a microprocessor, Intel microprocessor being shown here. Okay, got it. i7, the microprocessor used in the 4th generation languages. The full form of abbreviations, as I have already told you, in the first generation and second generation, we have seen different systems of first generation and second generation. The full form of different abbreviations: ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Calculator was the full form of ENIAC. UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer, was the full form of UNIVAC. IBM, International Business Machines, is the full form of IBM. VLSI is very large scale integration technology that is being used in the 4th generation languages, that is microprocessor. These are the full form of different abbreviations of the systems used in different languages. Now the last topic for this particular session is the 5th generation computers. In the 5th generation, we have introduced the concept of artificial intelligence. Development of artificial intelligence has been introduced in this 5th generation. Artificial intelligence is a new technology that makes computers think like human beings. Computers ne human beings la pole think cheyan pattum using this artificial intelligence. More user friendly interfaces with multimedia features. User friendly aanu, multimedia features kaanum using this 5th generation. Availability of very powerful and small computers at cheaper rates. Small computers ആയിരിക്കും, powerful ആയിരിക്കും, cheaper rates ന് കിട്ടും using artificial intelligence. Example of this 5th generation is robotics. You can see the robots picture here. This is an example of 5th generation. So we have covered the session on different languages: machine language, assembly language, high level language, and 4th generation language. The different generations: machine is also called the first generation, assembly is also called the second generation, high level the 3rd generation, last is the 4th generation language. And the 5th generation, where artificial intelligence is being used and the robotics is being used, this is also called the 5th generation language. Thank you children, thank you for being with me. Do the worksheet which will be sent to you through PDF. In the worksheet will be given to you which will be sent through PDF. Okay children, this worksheet consists of 4 sections. Do that worksheet and answers for the worksheet will be sent to you very shortly, within 2 days. Okay children, so this was the 5th class on your computers with the session on different computer languages. Thank you children, thank you, have a nice day.